Okay, so Nexthink, I believe you sort of pointed out that malfunctioning technology costs businesses around getting on for half a million, I think, productive hours each year. What's driving that scale of inefficiency? And I suppose the second part of that question would be why hasn't traditional IT support been able to solve or address that problem?
Yeah, no, this is I think is a very good question, and I think the reason is fairly simple. First, people don't realize how complicated modern IT environment are. So in enterprise, you have hundreds of applications, different hardware, different OS. So it end up to, I don't know, million of possible configuration, and then after every day, yeah, it's changing. So it's all that creates a lot of digital frictions. And at the same time, you add all this complexity, but also IT organization are missing the enough information and visibility. Most of the information that they are getting about issues are coming from coffee machine discussions or escalation from management and a bit of ticket data. So all this is making very, very complex for solving those issues impacting employees.
Okay, yeah, and you mentioned the sort of ticket situation. I mean, ticket volumes seem to be continuing to rise, and employee
Yep.
satisfaction, I won't say it's going downwards, but it's certainly not improving, shall we say? Do you think, or sorry, not do you think, but from your perspective, where do you think the traditional IT service desk has sort of broken down? Is it? Well, yeah, just give us some your thoughts there.
No, it's true. So I don't know if Willy tickets are raising, but at least they are not a very change. So I think if you really look first, the IT service desk model that is followed by majority of organizations didn't change for years. It's always the same approach. And all the optimization that have been done in the past years have been done more from IT cost point of view. It was not really focusing on trying to increase employee experience. Let's be honest. So when we are speaking about self-service portal, chatbot, super user, all this is in fact to reduce employee interaction with service desk. So I think really and I think is one of the challenge that they are, and the change that is required is really to shift from really reactive to really thinking in a proactive manner.
Yeah, and you said not much has changed, over the past few years, but Nexthink, I think, are predicting that the IT service desk won't survive for the next 5 years. So I guess the obvious question then is what replaces it, and what does the transformation from
Mhm.
where we are today to that new position? What does that look like?
Yeah, really, what we are thinking is two major changes. So the first one is really to have IT organization becoming proactive. So they should be able to identify it and resolve issue before it even impact employee productivity. I think this is really what it is. And for doing that, they need to have insights based on data that have been collected on what is going on their environments. Because again, due to the complexity is getting very, very complex. The things that is also for me the second aspect is this a personal IT assistant. And when I'm saying personal IT assistant, I'm thinking about AI. Really, it should we should make it much simpler for employee to contact support. Which again, based on your previous conversation, everything has been done to make it more complex. So as it getting easier and solve the issues, it's also a new source of data to be able to get even better in terms of proactivity.
And clearly, there's a lot of discussion around AI at the moment in the IT world. And I think next thing you're specifically advocating for the agentic AI. So perhaps you can just explain for a lot of folk, which I expect they be a bit confused by all these terms. So we've got automation, we've got chatbots, and then true AI agents. Can you sort of explain where what each one does, if
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, let me try to explain. So, and automation and chatbots still exist even in the true AI agents. But when we are really thinking about automations, it means that you define your use case. You are able to solve a very concrete cases or top call drivers. It works very well, but it didn't scale. This is the challenge because for every of your type of interaction that an employee can have with any tools, you have to kind of develop it. And then after on terms of the chatbot, it's kind of the same. So chatbot can do more, but is more kind of a knowledge aggregator. It's providing information to the user. What the true AI agent or agentic AI is doing is very different. Is to provide to the tools a true reasoning like an IT support person. So instead of kind of following a predefined workflow that has been established, the system is able to kind of think like an IT support person and establish different step-by-step troubleshooting based on the knowledge and the tools that it gets. And this is really making difference because certainly you implement once and you are able to solve multiple different type of use cases.
And I think the suggestion is that these AI agents, they won't replace IT teams, but instead reshape their roles. So can you tell us how that shift changes the day-to-day responsibilities of
Mhm.
IT professionals from where they are at the moment?
Yeah, no, and to answer the question, I think the best is to kind of look at what is today. So if we are looking at IT organization today, they kind of being overloaded by two flow of requests that are coming. The one that are coming from the employee and inquiry and the different requests that are coming that can be escalated then after to the different level of support. And then after they are also getting overloaded by all these processes that they have to manage. They have to manage the patching management if we are thinking about device or application vulnerability and many other processes that are kind of creating additional work that are coming day to day. And I think this is really what we would like to change because this work is making them very overloaded, as I said, and they are not focusing on what is very important. So with our AI agent, we would like to eliminate those transactional work that are coming all the times to make sure that the IT organization can focus on really what matter for the business and the organizations. So it's this all this digital transformation project that are so important for the business to kind of really creating value for the business. So it's all we are really seeing that kind of this change.
And Nexthink talks about the idea of giving every employee a personalized IT manager. How realistic in that vision is the vision, and what has to change? I suppose there's the cultural aspect and then the technological aspect in
Yeah.
terms of making it happen.
No, exactly. And technologically, it's possible today. We are releasing a product that is doing exactly that. We have multiple customers that are using it. We are using it inside Nexthink, where we have a lot of different interaction. Obviously, is you're right. The biggest challenge is more cultural aspect to make sure people are changing their way of operating that they have followed for many years. But there are ways to kind of integrate into the process that they already have and to certainly make those AI agents invisible to make sure that is done. So we have a lot of conversation, for example, to integrate with phone because people are used to call the service desk, and certainly we make it simpler to transform this culture. The other things that we have seen that are interesting is with our release and our usage through customers and also internally in Nexthink, we're seeing that there are faster adoption than expected because employees are usually suffer in silence. They only contact support when it's really very painful for them because the process is a little also painful. So certainly having this IT manager always there available, they are asking simple questions and get very fast answers.
Okay, and perhaps we can move on. I think you fairly recently launched the Spark solution. So tell us a bit more about what's the problem it was designed to solve, potentially what some of the things we've been talking about, and why was now, a particularly good time or the right time to bring it to the market.
Yeah, yeah. No, yes, yeah, we recently launched Spark, and Spark has been designed to solve exactly the problem that I was describing, the really employee experience to inquiry and ask support, where it has been made complex for employee to request support, and we would like to change that. We know so many employees that are suffering in silence or asking their colleagues. It should not be the right way. They should not have any problems, but when they have, they should be able to kind of ask and get an answer solved very, very fast. So, and then after you ask about the time, obviously it's also right time now with the progress that have been made with AI, which also the platform that at Nexthink we have built for the past couple of years. We are in the point that certainly we have the data set, we have the AI to use this data set and be able to kind of, what I was mentioning, resonate like an IT support person and use the tools that we have.
And I mean, amazing figure here. Spark's delivering 77% first contact resolution rate, which I think is over 5 times the industry average, which is
Yeah.
15%. So I mean, that's a phenomenon. But what what's enabling that dramatic improvement? What's going on?
No, I can understand the question because yeah, it's quite a very, very high first contact rate. And I think the answer is really all data. So you know, with Nexthink, with our digital employee experience platform, we are able to see the problem like the employee. So certainly is we are able to kind of see it and ability to also execute actions to be able to kind of either troubleshoot or resolve the issue either through the device or through third party. So it's really kind of created superpower to Spark to solve it. We are able to kind of make it much powerful than anything that has been executed before. And on top of that, what I've mentioned also is Spark is really an IT professional person. When I'm seeing really the reasoning of Spark and the ability to resolve issues, it really think like an IT professional. So I think those three ingredients make it really different to everything that has been created so far.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I was going to say that it's powered obviously by your digital employee experience data, and then asking how that makes it more effective. But I think you've probably covered that. I mean, is there anything more you want to say about the importance of real-time experience data versus traditional service desk tools?
No, it's true that, yeah, I would mention data, but again, let's think of you maybe have tried to use ChatGPT or any other LLM to try to solve IT issues. And maybe you have seen how painful it is, the amount of information that you have to provide. And really, again, the context is making the difference. I was looking this morning on the different conversations that Spark has, and last Friday, a colleague of mine, he had a problem. It just said Teams is taking too long to join a call. And in fact, based on the data that we had and the ability, Spark was able to identify that it was due to a external webcam that he was using and a driver failure. So to solve the problems, the user had to unplug the USB and replug it, and it solved it. And obviously, there are drivers that are required, so Spark created a ticket to escalate. But it's really where you see, when I'm speaking data, I cannot
Yeah.
express more enough how important it is and the difference that is making.
Yeah, and in terms of just looking, into the future a little bit, what you're doing and other, do you think that's going to change how organizations measure success in IT support? And presumably there'll be more and more autonomous agents like Spark playing into that new model.
Well, it's a very good question. I don't know how to predict exactly. I don't think that it really make change because if you're really thinking from an employee perspective, and not really IT. What is still important is what? Is to solve the problem fast. So it's the first contact resolution. And then the mean time to repair at the end is really what matters. So I think it's a kind of the same. The things that's what we are seeing in the future and Spark can bring is also more in terms of what can be done in terms of more proactive. Because we mentioned that we are now the ability to really troubleshoot the issue very well. So now we have the understanding also on what is going on in the environment, where you merge the two together and essentially allowing Spark to automatically identify what is going wrong on environments before even that the employees know that, look at it, solve it, then after is probably also more the future. And then maybe in this case, the first contact resolution will not so very important, but will be more about the number of non-issues or issues that are solved even before an employee knew about it.
But I guess you will be very much raising expectations. As you say, if you've got a 77% sort of first contact resolution rate, people will be pretty much expecting the problem to be solved, as opposed to if it's only 15%, they probably, send off a question or a query without much expectation that they're actually going to get
Yeah.
anything useful back. Is that right? So that's going to be a change of
Obviously,
mindset.
yeah, 77 is the start. So what
Yeah,
we would like is to go much higher.
sure.
Obviously, yeah, is getting even more higher is more complex, but is always what we are looking. We for building this product, what we our North Star objective that we are measuring for every new features that we are developing are always the two same things. So first contact resolutions to make it better and better and better. And then after is also the employee experience. This is really the two KPIs that are driving us for this product.
And also, sorry, I'm just one other thing occurred to me. Do you do any, obviously, if you can sort the problem straight away as you can in the majority of cases, that's fantastic. But for those that maybe can't, do you triage the queries so you prioritize things in terms of their importance to the business, in terms
Mhm.
of flagging them up for maybe a human to get involved, or how does that work?
So there are two aspects on that. So um, they are in fact, when we are not able to solve issues that happen, we escalate to support to make sure that from an employee perspective, there are continuity with all the information and all the context to make sure that the when it's managed by a service desk agent, they don't ask again the same questions that
Sure, yeah.
Spark has. Um, at the same time, we are providing, we have a role that we call Spark Supervisor that kind of review the conversations. And the reason of not being able to solve an issues can be because they are missing tools on the product. So ability to troubleshoot through script on the device or workflow or connect to third-party system. But could be also due to knowledge because maybe we don't know a specific application or we don't know a specific procedure. So it's also this information that are provided directly to those Spark supervisor to kind of continuously enrich the knowledge and the ability of Spark. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'd say I'll stop now before any other questions occur to me because I've already asked you more than I planned. So, Dennis, really appreciate your time and thanks for sharing some great insights into what's going on.